And tell us about the KLCC master plan.
The KLCC master plan was first designed by, it was a competition, it was designed by Clages Carterville back in 1992. And it is actually formerly a race course, a 100-acre race course, and the master plan showed that it was developed into a 100-acre green area with the park. 50% of it is dedicated to park in the center and surrounded by 22 commercial lots. The idea of this master plan is to have a well-integrated development, mixed development. We have for offices, retail, residential, and even a convention center there, and hotels, and with the park in the middle. Is actually really for a place to, you can say it's a sustainable development, and it's a place for people to come and work, live and play.
Mm-hmm. You're speaking as part of this panel at the conference of the Council on Tall Buildings about the environmental and social impacts of tall buildings. And Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where you're from, is famous for the Petronas Towers. Soon it's going to get another very tall building project, Merdeka PNB 118. What are some of the environmental, social, and economic impacts of these huge projects on a city like Kuala Lumpur?
I think it's the main responsibility of developers, property developers like us, to ensure whatever activity that we do, the site that we chose, the development that we are building should not have a harmful impact or a negative impact to the environment. And it should tie in with the, we should have the social, economic responsibility towards sustainability, but end of the day, there should be a long-term profitability as a property developer as well. So there should be the right balance for sustainability.
How do you achieve that balance?
For Kuala Lumpur City Center, the master plan actually, even way back in 25 years ago, sustainability has always been in the our leaders had the vision at that point to have sustainability in mind. We have to be very mindful towards energy conservation, very mindful in our design. The principles has to be there. Our management at that time, our leaders had the vision already to have sustainability, and the master plan was developed with that in mind, to have the green area. 50% of the site is dedicated to green, and surrounding it, as I mentioned earlier, is the commercial development. The park in itself provides an avenue for the office workers to come and relax, and even jog in the morning, jog in the evening. So it's like encouraging a healthy lifestyle to the development as part of sustainability. And not only that, in the weekends, it actually encourages, because this park is a big success factor to the development. So in the weekends, the community, the local community could actually come and enjoy the park, bring their families. There's entertainment, there's playgrounds there, wedding pool for them to enjoy with the family. And on a national level, we have celebration. It becomes a landmark where the city dwellers come and celebrate the National Day event and New Year's Eve celebration. So it actually encourages, it creates the connectivity to from around the development, and attract the people to come to this development.
Was it difficult to get park space and green space included as part of the project? Because, you know, in a city like KL, where there's so much demand on land value, and people probably wanted to develop the whole thing. But how did that conversation go?
I think it's also to do with our city hall authorities, where we are governed by a certain plot ratio within the development. We need to ensure that the green space is provided for, and the idea of having this master plan where where Claygus Carterville introduced this park right in the middle and acts as a nucleus for the whole development. That is, we felt that it is a very right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And end of the day, there will be like a people mover system around the park, which actually connects all the different commercial lots around this development. So again, connectivity is very important. Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for Kuala Lumpur going forward? Is it crowding, traffic, environmental problems, affordable housing? What do you think is the next challenge to tackle?
For Kuala Lumpur, you know, now everyone is going for green, for sustainability, and there's a lot of effort already done by the developers, and particularly the big developers like Kuala Lumpur City, KLCC, and together with the City Hall of Kuala Lumpur, we try to work to, City Hall and the planners will actually try to govern and regulate. For example, now they put, to make sure that all buildings of a certain height would need to have a GBI, a green rating, green certification, which then in itself is actually enforce the developer, the owner of the property, to comply to meet the sustainability rating, the points. So that in a way helps in terms of sustainability, but the public transportation has to be a lot more improved. And we are now going for the monorail rapid transport system, which links around the city. That would help a lot, and hopefully that will also reduce the people driving to the city and cause the congestion, traffic congestion. On the sewer system, earlier people complain about, you know, when there's all these tall buildings are in the city, it can cause problems, especially on the infrastructure in terms of this, for example, the sewer. But again, these developers, once they're imposed on the GBI, which is equivalent to the LEED's green rating, they need to comply with those. For example, in using renewable energy, and using and ensure there's water efficiency that we use, so that, like for example, our development, we make sure that 50% reduction in usage of potable water. And then we use recycled water as well, is encouraged. In Malaysia, there's a lot of rain, and then therefore we can do rain harvesting. And the water can be reused for irrigation, for example. So this has to be, the mindset has to be in place, particularly in all the leaders, the developers, and also actually the people. The green awareness has to be promoted to all people at all levels. Kids at school should be taught of recycling and using recyclable bins to dispose rubbish. So it should start from home and school as well.